Greetings, my fellow Gorehounds. I just wanted to let you all know that me, the Horror Guru, and Count Jackula here will be attending Son of Monster Palooza, September 15th through 17th?
Yep.
In Burbank, California. So if you're in the Los Angeles area and you want to come see us, go to the convention, purchase your tickets now, and come see us Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
And we'll see you all there at beautiful downtown Burbank at Son of Monster Palooza.
Fuck yeah. And with that all said, my fellow Gorehounds, let us move on to my review of it. Greetings, fellow Gorehounds, and welcome back to another Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
And I'm Count Jackula.
And we just got done watching It, the new adaptation of the Stephen King classic. And, oh my god, I went into this movie really worried and hesitant, because even though I liked the trailers, I was worried that they were going to fuck up Pennywise.
Yeah, I went in thinking this movie was going to be dog shit, and it's not. It's really good. Like, the entire time, this entire fucking time, everyone's like, hey, what do you think of the new It? And I'm like, looks like fucking dog shit. Hey, what do you think of the new It? Looks like fucking dog shit. Dog shit. I'm calling it. I called it wrong. This movie's great.
I've been legit wondering what made you think it was going to be pure dog shit, because, like I said, it was a good trailer. I was just worried about Pennywise.
Well, I was worried that everything would... that was the main thing I was worried about. I was worried that Pennywise was going to be so fucked up, it was going to be unrecoverable. And that's what I was worried about, because, like, I've been dealing with so many, like, shitty-ass adaptations. With the last break in the bad adaptations thing was Gunslinger.
Dark Tower,
which was actually pretty good.
That was a good one,
you know. But this one was actually way better.
Yeah, yeah.
It was way better than
Dark Tower was a fun movie, but, like, as an adaptation, it was all over the place. It was a bit of a mess.
Yeah,
This movie's, I mean, my only complaint with the movie is some, like, iffy CGI, but outside of that, this is perfect.
Yeah,
great.
It's really good.
You know? Like, it changes things, but it changes things that needed to be changed, and most of the changes are due to condensing shit.
Yeah, there are a lot of scenes that are in the book that are in the movie, because even though they've split the book into two movies, and they're doing the kids' part as its own thing.
Which I'm glad they did.
I'm very glad they did that.
Because I always felt like the books had two different movies in it.
Yeah,
and
it did.
Even when they did the miniseries, they split it up into two, with the first half and the second half.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm glad that they're doing that with the movies, because by itself, this is a great contained story.
Yeah. In the original miniseries, what they did was they mainly focused on the kids, but they also introduced the adult characters. So you wouldn't, like, get swiped in the middle. But here, it's just the kids. But even with that said, it's still that novel cut in half is still 600 fucking pages.
Yes, it's still massive, and so there was still going to be a lot of shit that had to be on the cutting room floor. There are side characters in the book that have way more meat to them in the book, but are just kind of side characters in the movie. For example, a lot of the bully's friends and stuff like that. Yeah. They don't really go far into them, whereas the book does. And thankfully, the movie does a really good job that doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
You know, you know that's the bully. You know that, this bully's dad is abusive to him, and that's all you need to know.
Right,
That's enough to keep going.
Yeah, it also cuts out some of the superfluous, like, references to The Shining and things like that.
Yeah, references to other King's works are few and far between in this. Unlike the Dark Tower movie.
Unlike the Dark Tower, it's all over the place. Yeah.
Yes. Obviously, this is not really spoilers, but, like, if you've read the book, the third act was always going to change. Because that third act of the book, for this part of the story, the little kid part, was not going to work in any adaptation. They changed it for the other one, too.
Yeah, they did. They changed it for the miniseries.
We'll go into that more when we get to the spoilers, though, because that's...
Yeah, but overall, this movie was
really good.
A fucking
The kids
surprise.
are amazing in this movie.
Yeah.
All the little kids reminded me so much of watching, like, Goonies and Monster Squad and, like, 80s kids movies, like Stand By Me, where the kids were kids, they talked like kids, they swore like kids.
Yeah, they actually feel the most like the kids in Stand By Me,
Yeah, absolutely, which makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean...
for you millennials, they're like the kids in Stranger Things, okay?
Yeah. Stranger Things are Super 8, that's what they're...
Yeah.
But yeah, that was done really well. And the big question, like, did they do Pennywise well? I think they did him better than Tim Curry.
Oh, my God.
I think Bill Skarsgård completely overshadowed Tim Curry.
He kind of did. He kind of did.
I was so worried. I was so worried based on the trailers and based on the clips that he was just going to do that thing where he whispers every line that everyone does in horror movies now.
Yeah.
Where, like, instead of saying, like, some sort of, like, creepy thing, they instead just go, like, I'm saying the creepy thing now.
Yeah, like what they did with Chucky and Curse of Chucky.
In Curse of Chucky, they did that with him, and it was one of the things that felt off about that movie, because I'm sitting there going, like, Chucky always cackled.
Yeah, Chucky is not a whisperer.
But he does cackle towards the end of that movie, but it's still, like down a few notches from the previous movies, in my opinion. But that's a completely different story entirely. I was just worried that they're going to do that with Pennywise, but they don't.
No.
They don't. Like, Pennywise is Pennywise. He's just, hey, Georgie, how you doing? You know? But I also love, like, he does this... What he does that Tim Curry didn't do is that you can tell that he is a monster putting on a performance.
Yeah.
He is trying to keep character, but he keeps, like
having... keeps not quite... working 100%.
You know, he's like trying to mimic humanity, but he's not human, so there's something off. Like his eyes are off, or his vocal inflection's slightly off, or he'll randomly go deep in his voice in like monster tone on accident.
Yeah. I thought that was a great touch.
And it's flawless. Like watching Bill Skarsgård perform in this movie is a treat to behold. And it was the thing I was most worried about. So good on to him.
Yeah. God, the scene where Pennywise actually attacks them when they're looking through the
projector.
Yeah.
The projector. Which I believe in the book it was a picture book.
Yeah, in the book it's a picture book that moves and talks to them.
But cinematically making it like a projector worked really well.
Oh, worked super well.
Really well. I was really happy with that. And like the point where he fucking attacks them there is great. Jesus Christ, it's terrifying. It does have a little bit of iffy CGI, but it's still terrifying.
Well, it's like the thing that's so great about it is you realize, oh, I get it. I get what it is. He's scary in the way a clown is supposed to be scary, which is he's not only scary, but he's also a little funny while he does it.
Yes, and he toes that line consistently.
Yes.
Consistently. You know, Tim Curry always fell into funny more often than not. But he was still pretty creepy. I remember being freaked out by him as a kid. But, like, if I'd seen this movie as a kid, holy shit.
Well, yeah. Tim Curry feels like a creepy, evil clown. Bill Skarsgård feels like a fucking monster.
A complete monster. And I love that they do this, like, marionette thing with him, where he feels like he himself is a puppet that the monster's using. So, like, he moves like he's a marionette, and there's points where he feels like, instead of running at them, he's being flown at them by a hand in his back. Like, it's like, you know, it's very hard to describe, but when you see the way he moves in the movie,
it's very clear. There are also a lot of things that he does that are, like, creepy cartoon clown shit. Mm-hmm. Like, if the fucking end of Who Framed Roger Rabbit terrified you, there's scenes in this movie that are gonna get you.
Also, I sincerely apologize. There's a bunch of kids outside just partying, so that's why we're hearing all
they're floating over there.
I also like that the we all float too. The way where they went with that, I thought.
Yeah, I know.
Really well,
that was a great little addition.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. I can't remember if that was in the book, but
I don't think it was.
But what they did with that was fantastic. The kids are all great. Pennywise is great. This movie was legitimately creepy. Yeah, I jumped a few times. I dread. Like the moment the balloons show up in this movie, dread.
Yeah. Because that thing I was saying this about the miniseries, which is the thing I was afraid this movie wasn't going to understand, but it did. Mm-hmm. Which is, it's not that you need to be afraid of Pennywise. It's that you need to be afraid of the red balloon.
Yeah. When the red balloon shows up, you need to be like, oh shit.
Oh shit, it's going down. Yeah.
And that happens in this movie.
It does. It happens several times.
The first scene where the balloon shows up, I was just like, oh shit. They did make that scary.
Yeah.
You know? And I felt so fucking blasphemous. I'm sitting there watching this movie and that opening scene happens. That opening scene happens. Georgie gets pulled into the fucking grate, and that's not really a spoiler if you know this story.
Yeah.
This story always opens with Georgie dying. Or being taken away, anyway. I'm sitting there going like, oh my god, I think Bill might be better than Curry.
Yeah. He might have topped him. He might have fucked him.
And then the movie went on, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah. I felt blasphemous as well. It'd be like gotta give it to him.
It'd be like if they did another Nightmare movie without
Robert Englund,
but the new guys nailed it. Like,
didn't just nail it, but like exceeded it somehow. Yeah, that'd fuck with my world. Actually, but that'd be great.
I heard someone describe it this way, and it was actually a very apt description. This movie does kind of feel like Monster Squad crossed with Nightmare on Elm Street. That's basically what the movie feels like.
It really does. Oh my god, that fucking... Okay, this movie knew the things that it wanted to show you that the other adaptation couldn't. Like, I can't believe we watched the creature bite Georgie's arm off.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, holy fucking shit.
Yes, Jesus Christ.
That's like the first fucking scene.
And with that, let's move on to the spoilers. Yeah, he bites Georgie's arm. He pulls him into the fucking thing, and his arm outstretches like a...
Oh my god.
The things they do with his hands in this movie, like with Pennywise's hands, like coming around the door frame.
Yeah. It's the whole metaphor for it itself.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a what you're seeing is a puppet, and the monster's got its hand inside of it.
And there's a point where he even opens his mouth and a bunch of hands pop out.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Whoa.
Fucking great.
Yeah, they nightmared it. And
God. Like, they went full Nightmare on Elm Street with a lot of his stuff. Like, they did it with a lot of CG and some practical, and some of the CG is a little iffy, but it still works.
Yeah.
You know, like, a good example of a CG effect that was clearly a CG effect but worked was the Picasso-looking chick.
Yes.
There's this monster woman that's going after what's the Jewish Stanley going after Stanley, and it looks like a Picasso painting with like the face all like elongated, kind of not Picasso, the silent
Edward Munch,
the Scream painting. She looks like that with that same kind of proportions, and then the painting comes to life, and so it's like a real person with those proportions, and it's creepy as all fuck. Yeah. And it's clearly done with like some level of CGI, but it works. Like,
it worked really well.
You know, they did a good job with it. Like that oh god, that image is gonna leave me fucking nightmares and shit. Like,
I couldn't believe that they made Pennywise into this terrifying monster.
Oh Jesus.
But was able to film it in a way where you believe that the kids had defeated him.
Yeah.
That was really fucking impressive.
Well, because like since they got rid of all the mystical stuff from the book, it's still a monster, it's still this elder creature or whatever, but they got rid of all like we got to have sex and that will save the day. Since they got rid of all that stuff, they had to figure out a way of how is Pennywise defeated? And they took a page out of Freddy Krueger's book. Yeah, you don't fear him anymore. He has no power. Yeah. Which was there in the book, but they made that the main thing in this.
Yeah. They used that to get over the awkward third act.
But you also know...
you couldn't put in a theater.
Yes, but you also know that that's not going to defeat him.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be another movie.
Yeah, which is going to be the adults.
I also like that it ended on chapter 1.
Yeah. The only problem I fucking have with the next It movie that they're obviously going to do.
You can't have the kids.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only problem
The entire cast of this movie was fucking perfect. You love every single one of those kids.
Yeah.
Every single fucking one. With this stuff, not the bullies, but all the losers.
Yeah, the losers. And the thing I like about it is you see yourself in, as a good Stephen King story should do, you see yourself in multiple characters.
Oh, absolutely. Like the kid with asthma, oh god, I was the kid who had allergies and asthma all the time, and the mom was always worried about me going outside and shit like that. So I felt that hardcore. The fat kid that loves the pretty girl, but the pretty girl only loves the skinny kid. I felt that hardcore. Yeah. You know, the one kid that's trying to live up to his parental expectations, but not quite doing it.
I felt like I see a lot of myself in Bill and oh god, what's his fucking name? The kid with the glasses.
Yeah.
The mouthy one.
The one that oddly enough, and this is weird because I didn't expect this. I found myself relating a whole lot to the girl. Mainly because she's the one who has to beat her dad.
Yeah.
She's the one who has to beat the shit out of her dad.
Yeah. No, I see that. You know, I knew, oh God, I knew a lot of girls who were like, in situations like very similar to Beverly.
Yeah. They do not skimp out on that. In this
my God, no, they didn't.
Like, it's a lot of intimation more than actual, like, acts.
Yeah.
But it's clear what's going on.
Yeah. Because in the book, she's straight up being raped by her dad.
Yeah. And I was wondering whether they're going to keep that in the movie. But I should have assumed that they could have, since it was R-rated.
Yeah.
But there was this part of me that was like, oh, they're going to adapt it. They're probably going to take that out.
Yeah. Like, we're so used to, like, PG-13 bullshit. Like, we were like, they're going to pull back.
I thought it was going to be kind of like, I thought, like, oh, they'll probably adapt it and make it more like they did, like, when they made Super 8, and she just kind of has, like, an absentee father, as opposed to,
okay, like, completely does not have him at all.
Yeah. Like, they have, like, absentee father. But they managed to work the father in, and they managed to do it.
Yeah.
They did.
They
And they managed to intimate it very fucking well to the point when he actually fucking snaps and she has to fight him off. You know this is not the first time.
Yeah.
You know that he's done this multiple times and this is the last straw.
Yeah. This is just going to be the one where she beats him into unconsciousness.
Oh, Jesus. God. That's such a satisfying moment, too.
Yeah. Damn. Like, they did not... I was so impressed that they did not shy away. They did not shy... There's very little they shied away from.
No. And the thing is that, like, that plot point... The plot point with the asthmatic kid's mother. Yeah. All those are things that are way more fleshed out in the book, but they did a really good job of making sure you understand it immediately in the movie.
Yeah, they did.
You know, you get a lot of information with the few scenes you have of them, and they feel complete.
Yeah, because, like, the book does it builds up the mother's dependence on her son being sick much more slowly, whereas in this, the revelation happens very quickly. I
forgot most of that damn book. I mainly remember the miniseries at this point because I've seen it most readily.
Yeah.
So there's many things of the book that I fucking forgot. But, like, watching the movie with my faulty memory, I could sit there and go, like, oh, I get it. She's dependent on him because their father's not there, so she doesn't want him going out, so she's kind of put this whole, like, oh, you're sick, you can't go out, or whatever, codependency on him so that he won't leave her.
Yeah.
So that when he does leave her by the end of the movie, she's a crying mess.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, wow, you never outright said that.
No,
you never said
they
that.
Did it well.
There was no fucking, like, exposition scene of, like, you never leave me, you never want me to leave because Dad left. They never said that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't happen, but you got it, yeah.
You got it. Like, the movie communicated it 100% clear without spelling it out.
Yeah, I was really impressed.
And it does that the entire time.
Well, it was very obviously, look, so, unlike the book, it's set in the 80s. In the book, it's set in the 50s.
Yes. Which I thought worked.
Oh, it worked completely.
It
worked totally because the movie is written like an 80s movie.
Well, here's the other reason why it worked. 27 years later, right?
Yeah, that'd be now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I caught that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hoping they do as good a job. The only problem is that part of the story doesn't have as much.
The adult part has, like, you get to, there's completions of story arcs that don't quite happen.
Yeah.
In the first half that the second half does. Like, for example, like, the romantic subplot.
Yeah, the romantic plot.
That gets completed in the second half and things like that. But even so, I've never found the adult story as satisfying.
No, it's not, because it's kind of like, it's got that aspect of, oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
Because by the time the kids have figured it out, all the adults have to do is remember.
Yeah.
So in order to make a sequel satisfying without just feeling like a retread, because let's face it, the point of the second half of it is that it's a retread.
Yeah.
That's going to be hard. I don't know how they're going to fucking raise the stakes there.
The thing I will say, though,
doesn't.
is given how hesitant I was going into this movie, I am going to give the second one a hardcore shot.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know, because this movie blew me away. And if they can do that
unless they fire the whole team and get a bunch of other people.
If they do that, and then...
at that point, fuck it. But if it's... Like I said, the only reason I would hesitate over the sequel is because it can't have the kids in it.
Exactly.
They were so good.
Jesus Christ, like, and I also loved it didn't shy away from like anything.
No.
You know? Like the violence was violent. The parents that were abusive were abusive. the kids, they swore like kids, they acted like kids, they even felt like they were blossoming sexually as kids.
Yes.
You know, the way they interacted with one another.
Everything felt natural.
You know?
I remember, like, you know, being like that age, and the girl, you know, all of a sudden you're looking at her and you're like,
whoa, she's pretty.
Wow.
You know,
yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking great. Like, they didn't even shy away of like that really awkward fucking scene when the girl helps them get the gauze and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the fucking like pharmacist is clearly like hitting on her, and she's using that to her advantage. And I'm like, that feels too real.
Yeah, I know.
That feels like something that would really happen, and I'm now icky. Like it's.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing is that they don't even have to tell you that, oh, well, she knows she can do that because her dad abuses her. You just get it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, she had to grow up a little faster than the others. You know, fucking hell. It was great. Oh, God, it's such a good movie.
It's fantastic. This movie is everything I want out of an adaptation and more.
Yeah.
If you like Stephen King, you need to see this movie.
Yeah.
If you like horror movies, you need to see this movie. This is one of the best ones of the year. You should
definitely
see it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is one of the best horror movies.
Yeah, it's like it's right up there with Get Out.
Oh, Get Out, The Void, like the best ones of the year. So yeah, probably top 3 right now, unless there's a Belko Experiment.
Belko Experiment was also really good.
You know? Yeah. So definitely in the top 10 of the year. Like, horror movies. Man.
Well, fucking, oh God, yeah, you were saying this before we did the spoilers, the whole twist on You'll All Float Down Here.
Yeah.
Holy fucking crap.
At the end of the movie, the kids are all floating.
Yeah, they're floating around the creature's nest. As if they're telekinetically.
Yeah.
Because one of the... Okay, now this is a stupid background thing that never comes up in the novel itself, but is something that you know if you're a Stephen King fan, which is the nature of the creature in It is revealed in one of the Dark Tower books.
Oh, yeah. It's like an elder creature.
Yeah, it's like an elder creature that literally like feeds on fear. And,
very Lovecraftian. Yeah,
and they have ways of... And one of them got thrown into Castle Rock universe.
Yeah.
Derry fucking... I don't know how to say it, but you look at that place and I'm like, yeah, that looks like fucking shithole USA.
Yeah.
You know, like that looks like fucking Old Bowie, which is a place that was in one of the towns I grew up.
Yeah.
There's Bowie and there was Old Bowie. What was Old Bowie? It was on the other side of the tracks. Everything all of a sudden got a lot darker, shall we fucking say.
The bullies also bully.
Oh my God, yeah.
That bullying scene was like, oh my God, they're not even shying away from this.
No, they're not shying away from the
carving
racism.
Into his stomach. Oh, the racism. The fucking get out of my town. Jesus.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, the movie did that.
Yeah. Yeah, straight up. Like, they're gonna like, there's some points where you're like, oh shit, they're gonna fucking lynch Mike.
Yeah.
Which is, of course, you have to do that because that informs his whole character.
Well, it totally informs it. Well, that whole line that was his uncle or his grandpa gave him about, like you got to pull the trigger because someone else is going to pull it on you. Like,
yeah.
You know, which at first I'm like, oh man, are they talking about like racial prejudices and shit like that? And then later in the movie, it's like, yes, they are. Yes, they are. Hardcore.
God, so many beautiful little details of this movie. Everything worked. I couldn't believe it. Everything fucking worked. You know, I was convinced at any moment this thing was going to drop the ball. And there was one awkward transition. It's when they got to August. That was a little awkward. But whatever. Mm-hmm. Everything else worked. Everything went off flawlessly. Yeah, so that's a fucking nitpick and a half.
So, yeah, for all you people that were sitting there on Twitter and Facebook and my comment section asking me, have you seen it? Have you seen it? I have, and I highly fucking recommend it.
God, yes.
It gets a 10 out of 10 for me. I am thoroughly pleased. Even my complaints about some of the CGI are so minor, it's barely even registered.
Yeah, it's not really worth it.
You know, it's
like I can imagine, dude, I'm thinking about it and I'm laughing at this movie. And I'm thinking, dude, if I had watched this movie as a kid, this would have been one of my favorite movies ever.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Well, that's the funny part. Even though this movie is rated R, this feels like the kind of kids' horror movies that would have been made in the 80s.
Yeah.
It's a little gorier than they would have been.
Yeah. But it feels like it would have been up there with, like, Phantasm.
Exactly. So, yeah. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so that you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. And as per usual, my fellow Gorehounds, I'll catch y'all later.